This video will demonstrate the REAGATE keyer working on a Raspberry Pi. Here's the page where it's located, and it works on Linux and the Raspberry Pi. So we're using a few apps here. Let me demonstrate, then I'll briefly go over the apps that you need. We have a paddles and two 555s. One sends a DIT and the other sends a DAW message by sending a tone into the microphone jack. That would be system here. So that tone from either one of those, the left 555 comes in one, the right 555 comes in two, and it comes into this Reaper over here, and it converts it to a MIDI information message that tells this IAMBIC app what to do. The IAMBIC app tells the tone generator what to do, and it comes out the sound card into jack trip so you can hear it. Let's briefly demonstrate this. So it has a very nice raise cosine shaped 5 milliseconds rise and fall time, and it works very well with super low latency. I noticed no delay. We'll go into Reaper here briefly. So when you have down here a send MIDI checked and you click 0, it sends a dash. I mean a DIT. That was a DIT. Now we'll bring up the other one. Bring this up here a bit. And let's run the dashes and see how they look. Okay, so that's how we're getting a MIDI device, a virtual MIDI device, using two 555 chips. So that MIDI note comes out of Reaper into this application. It helps you with any debouncing that your mechanical parts of your pedal or key or bug, etc. And then this goes into the IAMBIC app, and it's pre-coded inside. When you hit the make file, you can write in there how fast you want it to go, what the pitch is, how loud you want it to be. And then this tone generator again goes to the sound card and to jack trip, routing to this other computer here so you can hear it. Here's what the apps look like when you bring the project up in a LADI session handler. This is using Gladish. So if we go in here, I'll show you that right there. So that's what I'm using to bring this up. So the first time you do it, you have to create a studio, then create a room, and then tell it, start the studio, and then tell it where that folder is. So the folder for REAGATE usually is right in the home folder, and it's in a file called keyer. We'll scroll down here till we get to it. There's keyer. So inside keyer is the Gladish projects folder, and that's where you tell Gladish, when you create the room and want to open up a project, you tell it to look in this folder. Then it'll have several options. I like this one here, since it has IAMBIC B. If I remember right, this one has IAMBIC A. So either way. Then you have to go, before you apply to make any changes, you're going to go into SDRTCL folder, open that up, look at the framework options, and right here is where the tone is at, how loud I want it to be, and the ramp. So you can change the rise and fall time if you like. And then there's a couple more you have to look at. And that's keyer options right here. So look in this folder too for those options. And then finally, in the project that you want to use, we'll open this up and I'll make that final change in here too. I think it's at the bottom. And that's for this, this is where the speed is selected here. And you can see that I have 27 right there. So that's what worked to change the speed. And it comes default at 18. Then just apply make, and it does everything on its own after that. Then you just need Gladiator. You have to go through all the dependencies on his website. So here's the prerequisites. Packages, you have to make sure you have all of these. And otherwise, it was pretty straightforward on this Raspberry Pi. It's a Raspberry Pi 2B. I'll go ahead and close out of here. So over here, if you had a regular MIDI device, and he shows you in his website how you can take an Arduino or a Teensy and make your own MIDI device that has 3 ports, and you just attach your paddle contacts, all 3 paddle contacts to that MIDI output on that Teensy. He has some pictures of it on his website as well, so that's kind of interesting to take a look at that. But I didn't have either an Arduino or a Teensy, so I decided to use an audio to MIDI technique that I'm familiar with using the Linux Native Reaper. So that's just kind of it in a nutshell. It's a little bit of a learning curve for sure, but it brings you up a notch as far as learning Linux and some of the commands and some of the audio apps that you can get. Now on the Pi, you'll need the auto static repositories so that Jack works correctly, and it has some other stuff that the designer of that repository makes sure that gets in there. So he keeps an eye on KX Studio, and he makes sure that we can get some stuff over here for the Pi too. So thank you for watching.